right center. That ball is gone into Monument Park.
What is going on, everybody, and welcome to the fourth episode of the Monument Park podcast. I'm Cole Weintraub. That's Luke Profaci, and we're here to talk about the New York Yankees. And shall I say, we've been pretty darn successful since the last episodes with a few bumps in the road. We will give game recaps on the last game against the Detroit Tigers, the interesting series against Houston, and the first two games of a three-game set against Juan Soto and the Washington Nationals. But before we go on with an action-packed episode, Luke, how are you doing?
I'm doing good. I feel like this is the type of week where if I was somewhere where I could only check box scores, I would think this was wildly successful. But actually being here and seeing everything that's happened, it's been wild with a lot of ups and downs for sure.
You know, I'm going to have to agree with you. Since the last time you spoke, we have gone 4-2.
Yeah.
4-2. So not too bad. But like you just said, it doesn't seem like we're 4-2. It seems like we're like 0-6 for some reason. I don't know what it is.
No, exactly. The vibes have been off the charts, like up and down each day with each game. And if we take it tomorrow, we've won the last 4 series or 3. Tigers, Astros, would-be Nationals.
Well, we won.
No, we split the Orioles before that, so it'd be 3.
We split the Braves. We won the Indian series. We split the Orioles. All right. So
yeah. So like we've won a lot of series in the last month or so, and got a chance to take another one tomorrow. But it's felt I'm exhausted.
Yeah, it's
like
been
it's
a pretty
crazy
time to be a Yankee fan. Totally.
For sure.
So if we look back, turn back the clock, go to Sunday against the Detroit Tigers. Luke, would you like to take this one?
Yeah, sure. I mean, I got to watch this whole game from the comfort of my bed, and I didn't have to get up and walk around and pace once. Klubot was nasty. It was great to see. 8 innings, 2 hits, 1 walk, no runs with 10 strikeouts. Gave it right to Chapman for his 10th consecutive scoreless inning. Not enough for reliever of the month, though, apparently. Did you see that?
Oh, yeah. Matt Barnes, baby.
I don't even know. Like, I don't care about those awards ever. I never care. But that was unbelievable.
Yep.
I just don't even know. The bats were quiet again. Urania, I believe is pronounced. He pitched good. He had a good start. He's looked pretty good this year. Good bounce back candidate. But we scored 2 runs and got the dub, and that was pretty much all there was to it. The games we can go starter to Chapman, we're gonna win 100 out of 100 times. That's just automatic.
Totally. I mean, hey, when your pitcher goes 8 innings and only gives up 2 hits, you only have to score 2 runs. Doesn't matter who you're playing.
Exactly.
Like, unless there's 2 or 3-run home runs based on walks, but that would be an anomaly. Yeah, Corey Kluber, he's looked great lately. I believe he won American League Player of the Week that week. During those 2 starts, it was the Baltimore start. I think it was 14 innings combined, and only a few runs. Or I believe it was 1 against that Orioles start. But yeah, he's looked a lot better recently. He actually pitched today. We'll talk more about that later. But yeah, Kluber, I don't know. I'm starting to like him more. I don't know.
He's finding form for sure. It's good to see.
Yeah, and hopefully it was just like jitters early in the season. First 4 starts he couldn't get out of the 5th inning, and now his last 3 he's gotten in the 5th inning of each one. So that's encouraging. Yeah, I don't know how Chapman doesn't win that award. Chapman's been nastier than I've ever seen Chapman, and I've seen Chapman pitch, a while. Yeah, so that's a little baloney. When Matt Barnes wins the award with a 2.45 ERA, don't really understand that. Chapman's was 0, so
is.
It still is 0, and that is
that runner on second run doesn't count. I was glad to see that. Would have been a cheap way to see his streak end.
Yep.
Well, yeah, you know how it is.
We go on day off Monday or off day Monday. We need a little bit of rest before this, World War V is about to take place against the Houston Astros. Oh, I despise the Houston Astros. I think there's only one guy in the Astros I can respect, and it's Michael Brantley, and that's it. I don't know. I wanted the Yankees to sign Michael Brantley in the offseason. I was kind of on the Clint hype train a little bit, but then I was like, you add a lineup with Brantley and LeMahieu, like, how are you gonna stop that? You could literally punch in one of those guys in the three spot. Yeah, it's not like a prototypical 3-spot guy that you think of, like a power guy, but they're gonna get on base and they're gonna set it up for the 4, 5, 6 guys, which would probably be like Voit, Torres, guys like that. They can hit it at the yard. Glaber not really hitting the ball out of the yard yet, but you know what I mean. Going, in retrospect, Michael Brantley's just one of those guys. Everybody else, I can't stand.
No, hindsight, you just got me on a daydream. Where they were trying to force Hicks into the 3-hole. Imagine, because of like the lefty stuff, imagine we could have just slid Brantley in there. That would have pushed everyone down a spot, and it would have been I feel like we'd be looking at a lot more wins with hindsight of Clint and Gardner struggling as bad as they are.
Yeah. And the thing about Michael Brantley is he's always playing tough. He's a guy that you can rely on. He'll play good defense. He's quick. He can hit for power when you need to, when you need him. And he just puts the bat on the ball and doesn't strike out. So that's a perfect player for the Yankees that we missed out on, I believe, twice. Could have had him going to Houston.
Yeah.
And then him resigning. But good thing he's not on the Blue Jays, because he was supposed to be on the Blue Jays. And that was just not a thing like a couple hours later. So happy.
Off season was so weird. There were so many weird things. Like that was just one of them. I can't like give you a specific example, but it just felt like Twitter was all sorts of crazy in the off season with all their rumors.
Yep. A lot of reporters saying one thing and others saying the other thing. But Michael Brantley is not the topic of today's episode. We're going into Houston, the Houston game. That first inning, we were really looking for good from the jump. And Zach Greinke, I know I just talked about how I dislike all these Astros, but Zach Greinke especially, something about him just like throws me the wrong way. And I just can't stand him, really. In the first inning, we did a pretty good job. LeMahieu led off with a single. Stanton homers. Oh, I'm sorry. I completely forgot about the top of the first. Alex Bregman homers in the first inning with 2 outs. Everyone's booing down, and then Bregman comes up, and it was just like, I don't know. I was getting like Jose Altuve vibes from like the playoffs in that like day game playoff game. I don't know what
Game 3. Oh my.
Game 3. It kind of just like silent the crowd, even though everyone was still booing. It just was kind of like, oh, snap. Like, here we go. I was not happy. I felt just like from the jump, it just looked like Herman didn't really have his stuff. I mean, especially from that pitch. When Herman's on, he's not leaving pitches over the middle like that. So it's really weird. Speaking of Herman, and I apologize for going back to the last game, but Jose Urena and Domingo Herman are like the same people. We're not going to really go into it. Just look up Jose Urena and look up Domingo Herman and watch the 2 pitch, and they're like identical. They both came from the Marlins organization. Moving on. First inning, a LeMahieu single, what do you expect? Stanton home run. Stanton just continues his hot streak. Stanton's awesome. Let's go. MVP, baby. Judge walks after the home run, and you're like, okay, he does not have it. Urshela singles. The rain is pouring. Glaber walks. It's bases loaded. Clint comes up. Double play. Like, it was too good to be true. It really was. Clint comes up and hits into a double play. And I thought that was going to, like, really shoot us in the foot. And then Hicks grounded out the end of the inning. So, at least we scored the run on the Frazier double play. So, we take a pretty good lead. We're going up 3-1. Next scoring for the Astros was Michael Brantley hitting a home run to the second deck. That was in the 4th. Herman looked pretty good from innings 2 and 3, but yeah, in the 4th inning, left one up to Brantley, and Brantley's just going to put it over the wall. Into the second deck, it was no wall scraper, I must say. So, 3-2. All right. Then, whoa, I'm sorry. Fly ball.
Somebody doubled.
Right. This completely fell out of my memory. So it's the same inning. After the
Gurriel
home run, it looks like it's really falling down. Gurriel has these type of swings where it's really inside and he just brings his hands in. It's like he backs up with it and he like pulls it. And I feel like he's hitting a home run every single time. Hits one off the top of the wall, right over Frazier's mitt. Hits the very top of the wall. It was very catchable. If the ball's not going over the wall, okay, I can give you a break. But since the ball was in play and the ball went over Frazier's glove and he was right there, I swear, Clint looked so locked in on defense and so just lost.
Yeah.
So that scores the tying run, but Herman escapes. Correa to ground out, Tucker strikeout. We move on to the sixth. LeMahieu, just doing LeMahieu things. Hits a slow roller to third base. Bregman comes on. And I feel like Alex Bregman, whenever Alex Bregman needs to make a play, he's going to make the play. Throws it away. One run scores, another run scores, and they're going to send Odor. Last we've seen of Rugi. Throws it home. Rugi gets in there. Kind of like, so the bat's in the baseline. Glaber didn't move the bat, which I didn't understand. Odor tries to like evade the bat and like step on the plate and also like try to like get out of the way from the tag. Maldonado drops the ball. Odor like kind of like elbows Maldonado in the head, and then Odor goes down. He's like in a lot of pain. Maldonado's also down. Odor gets up, limps back to the dugout, and then you see him like in the next inning, and he's walking around. He's like doing all right, but I was still really happy. We just scored 3 runs on a slow roller to third. We take a lead 6-3. Stanton comes up, and it was just one of those Stanton at-bats where it's just like, that he needs to do this a lot more. Gets an outside fastball, and he's so strong, and his arms are so long, he just flicks his hands, gets the bat through the zone, and knocks it right back to where it was pitched. And that was it. That was the difference. 7-3. The bullpen did really good. We went from Litke to Loizaga to Peralta to Green. Didn't give up a single run. The last out was a pretty hard hit ball from Correa, but Guardy was right there. 4 hits from the bullpen, and also 4 strikeouts. So after that game, bullpen's looking really good. Chad moves his ERA down to 102. Loizaga moves his ERA down to 104. We'll talk about how that jumps later on, but I would say this was a very solid win and it was a statement game for the New York Yankees to move into the middle game of the 3-game set, which
yeah, for sure. Just off this first game, the crowd really set the tone. Yeah. They were rocking from the jump, and I think it kind of got all the guys going early, even after that Bregman home run, just the Stanton answer immediately. And other than those couple mistakes, Domingo really he looked solid. Like, obviously this is a wrong team to kind of leave some balls over the plate, but I think all in all he did good. That Gurriel play off the top of the wall reminded me of that Subway Series play. You remember that, where the runner on the Mets, I think it was game 1.
Oh, was this the World Series game where Jeter throws out
the relay, the crazy relay?
Yeah,
it looked eerily similar.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, exactly. No, that was just something.
Yeah, I believe it was Todd Zeal, and he hit one off the top of the wall. And like from the video, it looks like it goes right over the wall, but it like didn't. Luckily, then we threw out the runner, but this time,
this time no, but it didn't end up mattering. Off that, when I was watching back, the way Gurriel swings, it's kind of it reminds me of how Andujar like could look if we fully developed him. Like, he has the same, like, he doesn't have the full helicopter like Andujar, but you could tell there's some like similar technique there. So I thought that was pretty interesting. But yeah, I mean, the bullpen, like you said, was good. Kind of imploded later in the week, but it's all good. We'll get into that. And Glaber, you can tell he's kind of seeing the ball better. 3 walks on this game. The power's not there. I don't know what it is. Him and Clint haven't really been squaring the ball up, but I don't know. It was just encouraging to see him get on base, and that led right into game 2 with the most, I think, classic Jordan Montgomery start you could draw up. He threw 6 innings, 3 runs on 8 hits with no walks and 4 Ks. He's going to get bounced around a little bit. When his command is on, he'll be able to work in and out of trouble, which is just like he did. And I think other than it was just that one bad inning, right? The 4th.
Yeah. Montgomery
Yes.
seemed to just work around everything else and just settle right in.
Yeah, that's usually how it is. One inning, he'll let up a couple runs, and if he's on that day, he'll work through it and still finish good in the box score. And then on days he's off, it's not as pretty. He only had 4 Ks this game, but it didn't really matter. It was a fine end result. Stanton with the clutch double in the 5th to tie it. We really needed that. When we let games get into like the 6th, 7th, 8th inning down to run, it just like the pressure just builds and builds and builds, and you can tell that a lot of guys in our lineup just don't have the kind of clutch gene, I guess, where it's just like they can just ignore it and just get a hit to get us going. But so yeah, that was huge. Like you said, he didn't even follow through on either of these hits. Like this one, yes, this one down the line, he barely followed through. And same with the one he went the opposite way in game 1. Guy's so strong. When he puts the barrel of the ball, it's gonna go. And yeah, we got the game tied going in the 7th, and Sessa and Wandy combined for a pretty dirty inning. I believe Sessa has the slider that's working really well, and then Wandy came in, threw a headshot at, I believe, Tucker, someone like over his head, and I was like, oh no, I was really scared. And then he came back with, I think, 3 changeups in a row, just nasty, right where you need to put him to get out of that. Got to the 8th with Loaiza Castillo looking good, another scoreless inning. He was looking like Mariano Rivera when he's really locked in. His ball's dancing all over the place. It's a sight to see. And then we just rallied in the 8th inning. Glaber got us going. I believe we were on the phone and Glaber got a hit. I spoiled it for you, but it's all good. It sparked the rally. We had Clint walk, Hicks single. He had a huge series against Houston. He was 6 for 10 overall. That's very encouraging to see for sure. If he can get hot, it turns the whole lineup over. And Gary wore a pitch, which was just like you said when we were watching the game, you were hoping you would hit into a double play because you thought that was the only way you get the run in. And I think this was a perfect result because it moved the line over to Gardner, who got a sac fly. I can't believe any other runner on the team, no chance he's scoring. Tyler Wade was flying. If you watch the opposite angle, you just see him. It literally took him like 3-4 strategies to zoom in to get to home. And then Giancarlo with another tack on single to make it 6-3, 5-3 and 6-3. I was having this conversation today with my baseball game because it was 5-3 and we needed another insurance run going into the last inning, and we got one off a nice base hit, and it was just the same thing as this. 5-3 is so much worse than 6-3. Once you get 6-3, you have breathing room, and that's exactly what we got. Chapman was automatic with the breathing room and all the cushion we gave him, just automatic. There's no other word for him at this point. We put 6 runs across with Judge getting the golden sombrero, which blew my mind. 0 for 5 Ks.
Is it the golden sombrero? I thought that was if you struck out 4. What's number 5?
I thought it was golden sombrero. I had to Google it because I was like, there's no way he's really going to make me look up what this term is. And then he K'd again, and I had to look it up. I'm pretty sure it could have been 4. I don't know. I was kind of rushing when I looked it up.
Yeah.
But that was – he looks lost.
The Olympic rings applies to a player striking out 5 times in a game. I did not know that because not a lot of guys strike out 5 times, but we're lucky enough to have Aaron Judge to strike out 5 times in a big game against Houston.
We're inventing new terms for the amount of times Judge strikes out when he looks lost. I mean, he's going to get through it. I feel like he always has one super high streak and then one super low. We're just hoping that this is as low as it gets and he's going to turn it around. But yeah, overall, went up 2-0 in the series. It was huge. I really thought going up 2-0. I think this is the first time we won the day before a cold start, which was really big. I thought we were going to come in and roll, and I know you're going to get into that, but things didn't go as planned. But at the end of the day, we won the series, which was huge.
Yeah, so heading into the Thursday game, I don't know what it is, but the Yankees are not a good day game team. They can't play during day games, especially on the weekend. Sure, we won today, but that's crazy. I just feel like we can't. Something about the day game, it's like it ruins my night, and it just always seems to happen. Before the game, you found out that the Houston Astros went to Major League Baseball, that the Yankee fans were taunting them, and I think this was maybe one of the softest things that I've ever seen since, I dropped my ice cream in the summer. Like, it really was. Like, I was just, what is that? You're going to Major League Baseball after a cheating scandal. You're going to complain about getting taunted for the cheating scandal. Like, I understand if like people are like throwing stuff on you or like throwing beer bottles and like, I don't know, but really? Like, are you that soft? Are you that you need to go to Major League Baseball about it? I don't get it. What I don't really like is like, let's say you bring your 5-year-olds to the Yankee game, and I sure like if you have prior knowledge, you probably won't do this. But like, do I really want my 5-year-old hearing blank Altuve, blank your birthday, blank Bregman, blank Correa? Like, I understand, and it's like, and it is Yankee Stadium, so I'm not gonna like criticize them too hard for it, but I don't know. I would just hate that. I would hate bringing my kid to a game like that because, like, we're trying to get the kids to love baseball, and like, I don't know. That atmosphere is playoff like, but I don't know. I wasn't.
Yeah,
a big
no,
fan of that.
I agree. I mean, when I was on Twitter, and I believe it was on John Boy Media's Twitter account, and they went to the third game, I think, and they were talking to a security guard. I believe there was over 200 fan ejections per game in the series. It was rowdy, but you had to know it was coming, even if it was only like 10,000 people a night. They've been waiting since like off-season 2020's off-season to do this, and you knew it just had to come out. My dad never took me to Red Sox games when I was a kid, so if you're a knowledgeable fan, you just gotta sit it out. Like, everyone knew it was gonna happen. There's nothing you could do to stop it. But yeah, complaining to the MLB, they already did so much with immunity throughout the whole investigation. I thought that was weak for sure, but we won the series at the end of the day, so that's all I really cared about.
Yeah. So to carry it back into the third game, I needed to talk about that because I just thought it was pretty funny. Garrett Cole, it looked different. Cole, has his usual 6, 7 innings last start. Not a lot of strikeouts. It was like he was pitching to contact. A lot of guys in that Astros lineup, they're not a big strikeout team. They know what Cole has. They've seen Cole a lot. Well, they freaking played behind him. So it didn't surprise me that he wasn't as sharp. But yeah, it was a little bit different. His final line, 7 innings, 2 runs, 5 hits, 4 Ks, good enough for a win. Like, it really was. Like, we seriously could have done enough to win that game. I'm sure you can agree there. But yeah, the scoring starts early. Well, not too early. Stanton's just on fire. Like, I was on the phone with my dad watching the game in a restaurant, and I'm like, there's no way he just did it again. And he just shoots run right off like the Bank of America sign in the opposing bullpen. And I'm like, he did it again. Like, the ball just jumps off that guy's bat, and it's scary. Like, imagine being at third base when he's at the plate and you're like, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God. Like, the ball's about to come to me. Like, I would be terrified. Like, that's why
Starling Castro today. That play
exactly.
in the later innings, he just had to body it. It ate him up, and it would eat anybody up. Even though it was like a two hopper, it was still like 105 off the bat. There's nothing you can do. He's a freak. Any launch angle on his ball, it's gone. It's crazy. I've never seen anything like it.
I don't like the close stance, but when he puts the bat on the ball, it's
exactly
really cool. I believe maybe it was before that game, he had 15 batted balls over 115 miles an hour, and the next guy was like Aaron Judge with 3. That's ridiculous. Like, this guy is like a man amongst children. Like, it's like crazy. I don't know.
It's like he's using a different bat. It's literally what it feels like. It's like we all moved to drop 3s, and he's still swinging a drop 5 Mako, just hammering the ball. That's what it looks like, to be honest, when you're watching it.
Oh, he's swinging a twig. Cole leaves a pitch up for Yordan Alvarez to destroy. Yordan Alvarez is a guy that's going to, take advantage of your mistakes. You leave a pitch over the middle to Yordan, and he's putting it in the seats. It's just there's no questions about it. Yordan is one of the best fastball hitters in Major League Baseball. And Cole also, it was a foul ball home run to Carlos Correa, but luckily that was foul. We got a big home run from Clint Frazier. After that home run from Alvarez, didn't feel too great. But Frazier comes up, and I just felt like he was due. Frazier's a guy that he comes up to the plate, and I always feel like he's going to do something big. He's got that look in his face. He's got it in his eye. And I've seen him, the way he swings the bat, it's like a toothpick. He can hit any pitch. You saw it in the playoffs when Blake Snell threw 97 at his freaking head, and he put it into the seats. Like, that was when I finally was like, okay, this guy can hit any pitch. Drives one opposite field, right center field. We go up 3-1. Really good to see. Fast forward to the 7th inning, and I had just gotten to my baseball game, and I believe every single Yankee game that has been played where I'm at my school for a game, they lose.
For sure.
And yeah, I'm at my home ballpark, and the Yankees, I'm like keeping track on my phone, and it never goes well. Like, it just never does. I see Yordan hits the home run, 3-2. Cole finishes the inning. So you get 7 innings from Garrett Cole. What are you going to do? Like, what are you going to do?
Yeah, exactly. And that pitch, I don't mean to interrupt. That pitch to Yordan was like 99 on the inner black, and he hit it out dead center. I was watching it live, and it was the most impressive piece of hitting I've seen in a long time. Like, that's when you just got to tip your cap. He did make 2 mistakes to Correa and Alvarez early in the game. It was almost like the mistake he made to Correa, like, weighed itself out with the swing that Alvarez put on this ball, because he had no business hitting it out. It was a crazy swing. Well, but yeah, no, that's just
yeah. I mean, you can thank the Los Angeles Dodgers. Well, I don't know if you want to thank the Dodgers or the Astros, because they once had Yordan Alvarez, and they traded him for struggling right-handed reliever Josh Fields. So not a good trade for the Dodgers. But could you imagine Yordan on the Dodgers with a universal DH? Like, that lineup would be ridiculous. I mean,
crazy. He's a stud. Crazy
stud. And he's got 50 home power for sure. He's got to stay healthy. So we go to green, and it just fell off from there. And usually when a guy coming in with a 102 ERA, that's pitched well the entire year, you're comfortable. Walks the leadoff man Tucker, gives up a single to Diaz, who was pinch hitting for Miles Straw, not much of a hitter. First and third from a throwing error from Urshela. Was that the injury?
Yeah. He made a diving play down the line, and he tried to. I mean, when you're a competitor in the heat of the moment, you make a crazy play like that, you're going to throw it to first. And it was a tough play on Ford. People were saying he could have bodied it. I think he could have, but I don't know if it was one where it was like he should have. It was just a tough play all around. Nothing you can really do. But, yeah, that was the injury.
So he goes down, leaves the game. They bring in Chaz McCormick for Diaz to run. Gets a big strikeout on Maldonado. And for some reason, I had this feeling that Chad Green was going to roll a double play ball against Jose Altuve. But how about a 97-mile-an-hour fastball at Altuve's noggin, which is probably like 5 feet 9 inches in the sky. And Altuve just gets on top of it and puts it in the seats, and I'm watching it on my phone live. And I literally took my phone. I just threw it up. I said, what the hell, man? Like, really? Like, this guy's birthday. Like, screw your birthday, man. No one cares it's your birthday. Like, I could not stand watching that. That was
so bad. So bad. Maybe that's why we feel so, because all the happiness we got from the first 2 games were just killed in that moment. And you kind of knew because the way Green looked a little off, but it was off in the way that fit Altuve's strengths perfectly. Like the complete lower half of the plate in inner, middle, or out was just eliminated. He couldn't hit his spot. So it was all upper, and Altuve hammers the high fastball. I mean, he put a good swing on it. I don't know. Nothing much else to say.
I mean, it was ball 4, man. And it's either you load him up for Brantley, who's 0 for at the time. Maybe you do. You bring in Litke after. You get that lefty-lefty matchup. I don't know. Maybe you do. It's a tough situation because Altuve's, I don't want to call him a clutch player, but, I mean, he hits when it matters. So, but yeah, it was just everything was crushed. I was getting taunted for it. I was telling guys on the team, the word spread around. I was getting destroyed. And like people don't care about the Astros. If it's the Yankees losing, it's the Yankees losing. Like there's no, other way to look at it. I don't know. I just felt like that we still had a chance at this game. That inning went on forever, but it stayed at 5-3 going into the 8th. Ryan Presley, who we hadn't seen the entire series, which I was surprised about. I guess there wasn't really a moment for Ryan Presley the entire series because we were always playing ahead late in the game. Torres leads off with a single, Ford strikes out, and then just weird play.
Unreal.
It was like some Johnny Damon type stuff in the 09 series. So Glaber, Hicks singles, ball trickles away in the middle infield. Glaber gets the second, sees nobody's covering third, goes to third, sees nobody's covering home, and runs home. Like it was like, what the heck just happened? Like I didn't even see it until after the game.
Oh my God.
Yeah. You probably saw that, no?
The live adrenaline rush or like sense of panic you would have gotten from this play isn't something I don't think I've ever experienced in my life. I saw the shift was on, and I hate the shift unless it helps us, but the shift was on and he hit it off Correa, and we just needed base runners. It was a 2-run game at this point. And then I see Glaber take off, and with all the blunders this team has made this year, low-key looking like a high school baseball team, I had no confidence. I was like, what is going on? And then I see the way the camera angle was, you didn't really see him go to third. It just turned to him, and he's like when he got there, and I was like, okay, so he's at third now. And then they see him run again, and then it cuts away. And so I was like freaking out. It went back to Correa, who's just holding the ball in his hand, and you just see him going like this and they'll like not throw it. And I was like, oh my God, he really just scored. And then it cuts back and he's like sliding in. There was so much momentum generated from that play. In that moment, I knew it was like we were going to have a shot to get the top of the order come up, and we were going to get a shot to tie it. And then we know what happened after that.
Well, yeah. Another killer double play ball. I feel like the Yankees never fail to hit those. Kyle Higashioka, the home run stroker, wasn't stroking any home run there. Double play ball, 5-4-3 to end the inning. But yeah, we cut the difference in half. All we got to do is hold the 9th, and then hopefully, win the game in the bottom half. So, ground out, walk, strikeout, 2 outs. Martin Maldonado, one of the lighter hitting catchers in Major League Baseball. 2-run shot, like Justin Wilson. Like, buddy, like, what are you doing? Like, I really wanted him in the offseason for some reason. I liked him when he was on the Yankees the first time, but I was like, he's that left-handed reliever that we need. That's not Zach Britton. That's not Chapman. I didn't know Lucas Litke was a thing. So I was thinking, that's a guy that I want. I want Justin Wilson. He's solid. He's been solid the last couple of years. Let's bring him in. And frankly, he hasn't looked good at all. That home run kills it. I knew the game was over after that. 7-4. We get a leadoff man in Gardner. LeMahieu strikes out. And then when DJ strikes out in the 9th inning, you're definitely not feeling good. And then Stanton hits into a double play to end it. Just what a great ending.
That was an unbelievable play by Bregman. It was in the hole, just diving stop, turned it. that would have gone Judge up with the tying run at the plate, and this wasn't the time for Judge to come up with the tying run at the plate. Like you said earlier, or maybe it was in a separate conversation, he is not a very clutch player. Like the way you said Altuve, you always find him in big spots making big hit or having big hits or making big plays. Judge is, I wouldn't say the opposite, but he shies away a little bit. You can tell. And I knew that wasn't going to be a good situation for him. But yeah, honestly, I hate Bregman, but props for him. Props to him. It was a hell of a play. And yeah, 2 out of 3 is great. It was tough to see Wilson really kill that momentum, even though he did make it up today. He's even in my book after that. He cost us a win in my book, and then he saved one with this 11th inning performance today. But yeah, the only takeaways I had from this game were the 2 out of 3 wins were great against a hostile Houston environment. Even though we're at home, it's always hostile when they come. And then the way Dusty Baker talks about Jose Altuve overcoming all this unwarranted adversity is, it blows my mind. That's what makes me the most mad about it. Still, I wouldn't say I'm over what happened, but I don't want to hear about it anymore. And the way he talks about it, it's like he's this great guy who's overcome all this stuff and had such a wonderful career. You just can't play the victim after making a bunch of excuses after you cheat your way to an MVP in a ring. That's really what gets me, honestly.
Yeah, well, too bad the Astros manager was caught for cheating and he's no longer with the Astros. Well, he's having fun in Detroit and we swept his. I'm not going to say the word. Dusty Baker wasn't involved in this 2017-2019 scandal. He can't speak on it like he was. It's like he's trying to back up the kid at lunch who sits alone. He's like, well, we should go sit with him. Like, no, like he's a bad person. And like whatever Correa was saying, I mean, I hate Correa more than I hate Altuve. But then Altuve, makes up for it with all these big hits. I don't know. When Altuve was having that talk with Kenny Rosenthal about how Altuve wasn't doing this, Altuve wasn't doing that, but they were, and we weren't doing anything wrong. It just like I lost it. I literally lost my mind when I saw that. Actually, another thing to note, coming not on the Astros, but Aaron Judge's first 2 strikeouts in that Astros game were 7 straight at-bats with strikeouts, which tied a streak of his. I don't know why that's a streak for him.
He's done that another time.
Done that before in a doubleheader.
Oh my God.
I didn't see the year, but yes, he did it in a doubleheader. Once again, Aaron Judge just making up new records and new streaks that didn't even know exist. And I'm pretty sure he's 0 for 10 with 10 strikeouts and pinch hitting appearances. I don't know.
Of course, that's because when do you pinch hit? Clutch scenarios. That's what I'm saying. It's not.
Yeah, I don't know.
We got to keep track. This game was the first game I've ever this year that I've rage turned off. I never do that. But when Wilson let up a bomb to Martin Maldonado, I'm not going to lie. I turned it off and I went in my room. And then I saw we got a base runner in the 9th. And of course, I got sucked back in because that's who I am. But I want to keep track this year because right now it's at 1 and I pride myself on not doing it. But that broke me this game. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know if
it hurt.
I definitely turned off the Yankees this year. I know I have. Or I've stormed off into a different room. I know it's happened. It's just bound to happen. It just does. So we're done with the Houston series, although it was like sucked from us at the end. We won the series. So look at it that way. And would you like to take this game? It's up to you.
I didn't get to catch too much of this game. I know DJ had the 2 homers, which was good. We needed to see something like that out of him. He's looked the eye test with him before this game. It wasn't a lot of super hard contact, and you weren't seeing those typical DJ drives to the opposite field for base hits and doubles and homers and all that we were accustomed to seeing. It just seemed a little off, but this game he kind of changed that narrative and brought us back to like, okay, he's DJ LeMahieu. Let's relax. Mm-hmm. And I just come out of baseball and it's 3-3 in the 7th. I'm like, oh, this is good. But the defense just fell apart. Judge letting that guy get to second. I hate to harp on Judge because DJ made an error too. But if you don't let that guy get to second, they're not bunting. And if they're not bunting and Gio's not hurt, even though he's not on the IL, which is surprising and good, it led to another guy having to make a play out of position, which led to another error. And then Loizica, like we talked about this in past episodes, when things aren't his fault, I don't think he has the mental tick in his head to battle, even to pick his teammates up. It's kind of like he's gonna save his wrongdoings or he's gonna not. I don't think he's as experienced yet where it was like he just left some pitches up and let it get away. And you can't blame it on him too much, but it was just I just noticed that, and I know we talked about that before, so I wanted to make sure I harped on it. And yeah, I mean, other than after that, things are going to happen. Glaber error in garbage time, even though he has been great. Other than that, it just poured on. I'm glad we got the errors out of all the guys in one game because one loss is one loss at the end of the day. But yeah, it was a terrible loss. Clint hit that ball hard in the ninth, though. Even though it didn't matter, it was just good to see him hit the ball hard. Pull aside. We're going to need to see some more of that if he's going to stay in the lineup. That's pretty much all I have on that game, to be honest.
Yeah.
It was just a stinker.
Totally. I believe Clint hit I watched all of his at-bats, but that last one, he hit every single ball hard, which is good to see. Another thing, before the game, I found out that DJ LeMahieu had the lowest average exit velocity since 2015, so I thought that was interesting. But, yeah, he owned Patrick Corbin going in. He faced him when he was on Arizona, when DJ was on Colorado, and he really just continued to own him. 2 home runs and another single. Judge looks like really bad again. Another 0 for 4 following the 0 for 4 against Houston. Stanton looked human. Another 0 for 4, or not another 0 for 4, but he went 0 for 4. So did Glaber. So when 2, 3, and 4 go 0 for 4, you shouldn't win. I mean, maybe the guys at the bottom of the order are doing it, but 2, 3, 4, that's who you rely on. You shouldn't have to rely on your leadoff hitter to hit 2 home runs and have 3 of the 5 hits. It's ridiculous. So
it's
just
they all bottom out at the same time. They all do. When one person does bad, the whole team does bad. That's a blessing and a curse because you can't fight through, scrap out a win you shouldn't win. I mean, today was a win we shouldn't have had, but normally bad performances lead to other bad performances. But when we're on and clicking, we're one of the best teams around. So that was one thing that stood out to me. Once one of them started playing bad and the errors started happening, they all just played awful. It is what it is. There's one. Yeah.
Gary homered, but I don't really care. Gary stinks. Miguel Andujar comes up for his first game of the 2021 season, and I was talking about it with my dad before the game. He was like, I really want Andujar to really force his playing time, really make it a problem for them, because after that rookie season, you didn't really want to trade him, but at the same time, you could have gotten a haul.
I told you that San Diego stuff, right?
Yep.
My buddy, yeah. No, yeah, that was probably the first episode, huh? Yeah, no, that's
so. Yep. If Andujar starts hitting now, what are teams gonna think? This is just the same guy. If Andujar starts to hit, we could go get another pitcher. But if Andujar doesn't hit, then he's just a waste of time because then Gio's just gonna step in and play. And we don't want Andujar playing left field because left field at Yankee Stadium is a pain. And we don't want Miguel Andujar playing left field at Yankee Stadium. That is not what we want. He ends up playing first base in this game, which was a little odd. He wasn't playing first base in the minors.
He did play. He started the last game of the minors at first. The first 2 were in left, and then the last one was at first. It kind of went under the radar. The way I found out, it was either in Twitter mention something random. They kept it very under wraps, I think. But yeah, no, he got one game in, but I was so surprised he just threw him in the lineup at first.
One thing I took away from this game, and I've been saying it like kind of like all along, Jameson Taillon, who started this game, always has one bad, and I said it before the game. I felt like I was hoping JMO wasn't gonna bring in the L screen, and it was that I believe, I apologize. It was the second inning where he gives up homers to not only Josh Bell, who I saw his stat line and I was like, yeah, he'll break out of it in this series. Hits a home run.
That's so typical.
Yeah, it was like the next pitch, of course. Hit the home run, and then Yan Gomes, who the last time I remember Yan Gomes was when he was facing Betances in 2017 and hit that walk-off down the line in that second ALDS game when Lindor hit that home run, and then Bruce hit the home run. All right, sorry. I'm bringing up bad memories. I shouldn't. But yeah, he gives up those home runs. It makes it 3-1. Garrett comes back with the home run. LeMahieu comes back with a home run in the sixth, tie ball game. But really past that third inning, Taillon, you could just see it, like his fastball command, his breaking stuff. It was just working. He struck out Juan Soto twice. And that's telling. Like, you don't just strike out Juan Soto and then back it up with his other numbers from the start. I mean, just looked really, really solid past those home runs. He's got to get away from that home run. His final line: 6 1/3, 3 hits, 3 earned runs, a walk, 5 Ks, and like I just said, the 2 home runs. He's worked his ERA down to 5.02. If I had to project his ERA by the end of the season, I'm thinking 4.6. I think it's a fair prediction. You think it's gonna be
I was thinking like 4-1. I don't know. He had that one implosion of an outing earlier this year that I think if it wasn't that, he would hover in the low to middle fours. But like we said about Montgomery, Taillon's similar in terms of generating results. The one bad inning always messes him up. Like his floor is just like batting practice. Like you said earlier, he's just putting it over the plate. Slightly above his floor is like a decent Montgomery start where it's like one inning imploded, but he battled and worked through it. And then his ceiling, like the way after that one tough inning this game, he can shove. And I like he's just like a more potential based Montgomery presence in our rotation, in my opinion. It's a small sample size, but that's what I've gathered so far from him.
Yeah. All right. Maybe the 4.6 is a little high, a little high.
I mean, like, we'll see. You know, you'll never know.
Yeah, but like really, like those one bad innings, like I just love to think about October. What if we're sitting in the Syracuse Storm and Jameson Taillon is pitching the American League Division Series game, and it's the middle of the series, like game 3, and he just implodes and gives up like 7 runs. Like, are we just gonna like be on the JMO train, or are we gonna be like, this guy stinks? Because that's how I'm going to see it. This guy stinks. He gave up 7 runs in the American League Division Series, and we might lose the series because of him.
Michael King will bail us out. He'll have a quick hook. Someone's going to implode in the playoffs, and it's going to be a quick hook to King. I'm telling you, that's why they're not pitching him in high leverage, because they need someone to do that role, because they know someone's going to fall apart in playoff games, and they're going to need innings and outs. And that's just do you think we're going to get kicked out of our dorm during playoffs, or like noise complaints?
I think
like, how do we?
I think a noise complaint,
especially in the honors dorm.
The honors dorm.
Hopefully, we're going to be on the honors floor.
Maybe we turn the AC up a little higher so that they don't hear it. But I don't know. I feel like a noise complaint is in the cards. I just need a pillow next to me that I can scream into. I just need something to throw, something to scream into.
Oh,
I think when I'm next to someone relatable, it's not going to be as bad. When I'm with my dad, like my dad will get upset, but like he won't do it he won't go anywhere near where I go. Maybe when he was younger, No, I'm on a whole nother level, on a whole nother spectrum from what he is.
For sure.
But yeah, I think that's definitely a thing. But yeah, like the fact that we're like talking about someone imploding in the playoffs. I know it's gonna happen, but it's like dude, like we can't have that happen. Like I don't want to see that. Like I don't want another J-Hap start or J-Hap filler, whatever that was called.
Why'd you have to say that?
I'm sorry, I just bring it up every episode.
That.
Yep, I don't know. I'll never forget that night.
I just hope we make the playoffs at this rate. Every week is a sweat. I'm dying. We need easy wins. I can't
wait till the dog days of July and August. Like it's gonna be bad. And then like you gotta wonder when Davey got shelled in a AAA start. He gave up like 6 runs and like 5 walks. Like, buddy, like you're trying to get back to the big leagues and you're getting shelled in AAA, like by the Syracuse Mets. You kidding me?
Super glad we capitalized on his value. I don't know if we talked about capitalizing on value.
Yeah, we did.
I'm kidding. We've talked about it probably every single episode because it's just so necessary to bring up. When you see Mike Tauchman's literally Ted Williams on the Giants right now, I think he's hitting 3. All my friends at baseball, I don't get made fun of for the Yankees usually, but they love Tauchman. And
his batting average has kind of.
Oh, really? Has he fallen off? They're gassing him up. Maybe they're just not. Yeah, maybe they're just going off those.
He hit a home run the other day. Yeah.
That's good. I don't know. Like, I want to see Tauchman succeed, but hearing it every day about how he has 2 knocks and 2 RBIs, there we go. Rep him. It kind of pains me. I don't know.
Yeah, I know.
Just tough.
It's like he didn't have a spot.
Yeah, no, of course. It made sense. It's just, you know how it is. It's more the value idea of it. It's kind of what bothers me.
But what we've seen from Wandy Peralta, like I'm encouraged. Like I think
I like it. I really
like
do
too. Like he's kind of funky. He's a Nestor Cortez type guy. Like I saw him pitch one game where he like slowed his like motion down and he like held it, and then he just like ripped 96. Like Nestor Cortez was stopping his motion and ripping like 86. So like I'm happy that Peralta's got that speed differential that we need. He's really like I've not really seen him throw a lot of sliders. He's really confident with that changeup. He really like likes to just dot the zone with it and not really much of the fastball. I don't see him throwing too many fastballs. Maybe that's why he's one of the better exit velo lefties. So
true.
Long term,
can you help me? What's that guy in the Rays name? The weird lefty, because this guy's a combination of Nestor and I think he's Dominican. Oh. No. He's like Dominican. Castillo. He's like Castillo and Nestor, where it's like the velo of Castillo, and then like the way it dances is similar to Nestor. The thing I heard when he got traded to us was about his slider, and I haven't seen much of it, but his change is disgusting. Like
it's like that speed differential that like
exactly
96 to 88. I mean, it looks good, and I'm encouraged. So Loizaga gets shelled, and then Sessa got shelled. Loizaga's ERA, I'm pretty sure we were talking a couple of games back, was 0.98, and now it's 2.89. So it's not looking as good. We're probably gonna look. That was like what happened to Ottavino last year. I mean, I hate Ottavino, but like he had this one game against the Blue Jays where he gave up like 7 runs and his ERA was like 6, and it didn't matter how many games he pitched well after that because he didn't. But yeah, I hope Lasagna can just open.
I'm glad this happened because he's not God and he was pitching like God. Exactly, and it's just another thing I can chalk in my head, as we know this is a flaw of his mentally where he can't overcome other people's mistakes. And the more it happens to him, the more he'll battle through it, and he'll be battle tested by the playoffs by the time we get to the playoffs, hopefully. But yeah, hopefully we get to the playoffs. I know he's going to be battle tested is where I was trying to go with that. But so yeah, that one, it didn't. It's early May. That can happen time to time. Everyone imploded. Yeah. It's all good.
I have a question for you. So Britton comes back. Who does that kick? Well, pending or like no injuries. I'm thinking it's either King or My dad was saying Litke, but Litke's looked too good.
No, they love him.
I don't think it's gonna be Wade. You kind of need Wade. I know you like Wade, but you kind of need him.
I appreciate what he brings in a good light, and then when they try to make him do anything outside of what he's good at, he can't do it.
Yeah.
Yeah. No. Exactly. Damn. Who is Brooks Kriske still up? I feel like there's no way.
No. I think the bullpen.
He's a 40 man though. Yeah. Yeah. He might be the guy that cut off the 40 man. Abreu. He's definitely still up, right? Or did they option him for?
They optioned him for Andujar.
Damn.
Hey, it's got to be Michael King, I think. I don't see Ford. No, but Ford's gone when Voit comes back. So it'll probably Andujar. But is there somebody that we're forgetting on the IL that will come back?
Well, Rugi.
Andujar doesn't have a spot.
Rugi. So Rugi would take Andujar or Wade. Probably Andujar.
Andujar. I feel bad for the guy. He's just never gonna get a solid spot unless he's gonna get his small sample size and just go off in a game. But how can you really do that to a guy? You can't. You can't tell a guy, all right, you're gonna have 5 games. Do your best in them. It just doesn't work right.
It can't. Yeah, it's just you need to get baseball is a game of rhythm and day to day. You're gonna get these reps, all of that, and it's just there isn't room for him. There's a time for him to get the reps that he needs because he's positionless and not in a good way. I feel like people describe positionless players as players you can play any position. It's the opposite. You can't play anywhere.
Yeah.
So it's just Day's on the IL too.
Oh, okay. So yeah, it's just
what are we gonna do?
So it's gonna be Andujar's off the team, Ford's off the team, King's off the team. I mean, I hate to just keep doing. I feel like we need to use King more. King doesn't have any.
We have to.
Throw him in the fire and see what happens. You might as well. We don't care about his 11 inning no ERA streak. Just put him in a game and see what happens. I need to see more of Michael King. What if he's actually a guy that we could?
They may revolving door King and Wandy because they both have options.
Wandy has an option,
which they could do funny business. But the problem is, it's you can see why they do it with King because he gets innings and it's he's not going to throw for 5 days because he's thrown 5 innings.
Yeah.
But Wandy's a lefty specialist type. I couldn't really see that working. Yeah, I guess it's really going to have to be King. That's tough. That really is tough. I don't know. Sucks.
Yeah. So I guess we'll move on to the last game, the final game that we'll talk about. And I'd say it was a pretty successful one. I didn't catch the first little bit of it. There was a rain delay.
When did you start?
I started listening actually on the radio right after the Soto walk. So Kluber walked Soto with the bases loaded, and it wasn't too bad because in retrospect, you leave a pitch up to Juan Soto, he's gonna destroy it. I'd rather walk him once and then get the next guy out and leave it at 1 run than come out of the inning with 4.
Yeah, no, exactly.
Kluber looked fine. I'll take that Kluber start. 5 2/3, 2 runs, 6 hits, 3 walks, 6 Ks, fine. Higgy comes up. Scherzer leaves an off-speed pitch over the middle, and Higgy just crushes it. But Max Scherzer, we literally made him look like it was 2017 all over again. 7 1/3, 1 run, 2 hits, 1 walk, 14 strikeouts. I heard it on the broadcast. Max Scherzer broke a record. Most strikeouts by an opposing pitcher at the new Yankee Stadium. I mean, I guess it's better that it was Max Scherzer and not Bronson Arroyo or Homer Bailey. But so yeah, I don't know. 14 strikeouts. We didn't know what to do. We looked lost, but I'd say it was a very, very, very exciting game at the end. We get an inning in the third from Green. Good bounce back from the last one. Only give up a hit, struck out 2. Litke goes 2 innings, no hits, 2 strikeouts, got his ERA down to 3.26. Washington, actually, Corey Kluber went 5 2/3. And I was very bummed that he couldn't get through 6. So he gives up a 2-out double to Kyle Schwarber. And you can touch on this.
I jumped. I don't like texting people during games, and I don't do it unless I have to. I get weird.
Yeah.
But seeing the way, I hate picking on him. Seeing the way Judge went after that ball with Schwarber being as slow as he is, and letting him get to second. It was a great throw, but I mean, he got in, leading straight to the Starling Castro hit up the middle. It was tough to see because obviously if he gets that out to Castro, I don't care about not hustling, but it was just, you got to help your pitcher out with all he's done for us, winning player of the week last week and just having another great start in a day where every run counts. We have Scherzer looking vintage. It was that's something that really rubbed me the wrong way. But yeah.
And he was like chuckling about it. And he was doing this in the outfield. I was like, what is he doing? Like, get there, throw the ball in, hose Kyle Schwarber. Kyle Schwarber was moving a little bit quicker than I thought he was. Like, he actually was. You said Kyle Schwarber was slow, and I looked at the screen, I watched the replay, and I was like, this ain't 2015 Kyle Schwarber. He lost some weight. He's
good for him. He was big.
He's not on the Yankees because he'd be hitting 80, and we'd be like, well, we knew this was going to happen. Nice job, Cashman. But, Cashman, resisted. So yeah, that hurt. We go to the 9th inning, and Brad Hand comes in, and I send out a tweet.
I loved it. I
need some wild card series vibes right now. Brad Hand just did not have it. Brad Hand, like, I don't know. I've only seen Brad Hand pitch like twice, and it was a wild card series and today. And he sucks, bro. Like, I don't know. Like he just sucks.
He's just not that good.
At the end of the day, he's just not all that. If we look at we'll try to go through this quickly. He gets to the 9th inning, just does not have it. A leadoff walk to LeMahieu, and you talked about it a little bit earlier. Stanton hits a rocket right at the third baseman. Castro knocks it down. I thought it was like double play ball. There goes the inning. But actually bounced off Castro. Not a third baseman by trade by any means. It's going to eat up a lot of third basemen. LeMahieu gets the second, which was good. Kept the inning alive, kind of, even though the inning had just started. So gets thrown at first, run around second. And this
Can I do my
Sure, because Phil Nevin sucks.
Bro, my high school coach, one of his big things with base running is pre-pitch preparation, and they zoomed out and they gave us the perfect angle. They were playing like no doubles on steroids. They were so deep, and it couldn't have been more of a perfectly placed bloop. Like, if there's one spot the ball is hit where you're sending them all the way, that was it. I lost my mind. The people were at my house. There's water coming out of my ceiling. I'm freaking out. It smells bad. And I'm screaming at the TV because I could not believe we didn't get that read. Part of it's on DJ, obviously, but then Phil Nevin, like, we're not going to get doubled off. That's what I'm saying. You'd rather just have nobody there if that's what he's going to do. It was so bad. I was losing my mind. Glaber came up. I was panicking, and then he just poked one, and it didn't even matter. But I was so upset. Like, I don't even know how to explain how upset I was when that happened.
I was too, because we called a break. Like, Judge has a crappy swing and like drops it right in, and like LeMahieu or Phil Nevin, like, they're holding him right there. And sure, if LeMahieu takes off and Ryan Zimmerman makes that play, but you're counting on Ryan Zimmerman to make a Willie Mays-esque play. The guy's like 39 years old, and he's running out into shallow right field. There's no chance the right fielder is going to get it. It's either Ryan Zimmerman's going to make an insane play. I just thought right after that we had no chance at scoring that run because it was like, oh my God, we just got the run, and then they're
dove backwards. He dove backwards.
He literally
There's no way he would have made the throw to get DJ anyway. I don't know.
So then Glaber comes up and it just bails it out. And I low-key thought Glaber was going to hit into a double play because he looked so brutal in his first 3 at-bats. But, you know, he gets the hit. And then there was this Hicks pitch where Hicks took a ball like middle. They called it a ball. And then the next pitch was like at least a foot more inside, and they called it a strike. And Hicks was like, what the heck? Because I would have been the same thing. You just called this pitch a ball, and now it's a strike where it's completely off the plate.
When they're professional hitters, you can't do the high school makeup call dance. Because now he's 1-2, and of course Hand comes back with the nastiest pitch he threw all day. Everyone would have swung at that after the previous 2 pitch sequence. But it was just – the umps have been shaky. It has been in our favor sometimes, but that was tough. Yeah, there wasn't too much we could ask for after we tied the game. I'm glad you touched on that though. That was a big deal.
Yeah. So Chapman comes in for Litke. And Andrew Stevenson begins at second base. That's their speed guy. We get Victor Robles to a 2-strike count. I don't know. This guy's not a great hitter. Chapman's been dominant with all of his off-speed stuff. He goes with a fastball. I don't really understand the logic there, but it is what it is. Shoots it through the hole. You know, I guess it didn't score the run, so it's first and third. And then Trey Turner comes up. He's throwing another fastball, even though Trey Turner's sitting dead red. And he pops it to Judge, who was like coming off balance, and like I didn't think he had a chance at the throw home, but
that's what I'm saying.
It's kind of close, but it wasn't close. Like the throw was almost there, but like it was way offline. Robles got to second, and then he struck out Jay Hay. So there were 2 outs. Runner on second. You intentionally walk Soto because you do not want to touch that.
Never.
And then he strikes out Zimmerman. So then we move on.
Yeah.
Get a runner on second base. It's Frazier. Ford comes up, and I was going through the bunt challenge with Mike Ford. They said it was his first time bunting since the Cape Cod League. So why not let Mike Ford bunt when the winning run's on second base? Good call, Bruni. On Twitter, I was going through attempt number 1, attempt number 2, attempt number 3. He actually made a couple really nice takes. He was pulling that bunt back.
I know. That's so hard to do.
Yep, it is.
Take a bunt because it looks like you can just bunt anything. But he hadn't bunted since an independent league or Cape Cod League 2012 game. That just shows you Boone's a puppet for these computers that's running our team right now.
That's a very good.
It's ridiculous.
It's a very good.
Ridiculous.
He gets in a 3-1 hitters count, and I was super surprised. The shortstop hole is completely vacated. Ford punches it right through. We score the run. I was like, let's go. Like, this is awesome. And then just Higgy ground out, Andujar pop out, LeMahieu strike out. And then at that point, I'm like, oh my God, Justin Wilson's in the bullpen. Like, why? So Zimmerman starts at second. Huge strikeout on Josh Bell. Josh Bell is not a strong – he's a switch bat, not really a strong right-handed hitter. Yeah. Another guy that the Yankees were rumored to get in the offseason.
Reverse Hicks. He just reverse Hicks.
Yep.
Can't hit righty, can hit lefty. Just completely opposite.
Kyle Schwarber flies out, got jammed, and then he struck out Castro. I was like, holy mackerel. Like, he just, like, diced the Nationals up. I just thought we were going to lose the game when he was in there. But he didn't. I said, all right, if Justin Wilson can work us out of that inning, we have to win the game here. Stanton, they bring in Tanner Rainey, who throws like 100 but doesn't know where the frick the ball's going. No. Stanton walks, Judge walks. Bases are loaded. I put out a tweet. I swear if we don't win this game with the bases loaded and nobody out, like I would have lost it. So Glaber, they bring in like 5 infielders. Like what the heck was happening?
Should have done 6.
Yeah.
Maybe would have made the play.
Yeah, maybe. But there's like two outfielders. Like all the Gleyber has to do is just hit a fly ball. He gets in. He gets a fastball strike. Gets a breaking ball out. 1-1 count. Then he gets this like slider and he just looks so lost and he takes it right down the middle and he completely buckled out of it. I was like, Gleyber, what are you doing?
I was listening to the announcers and they kind of laid it out to where I was less upset because the 0-1 pitch was just a dirty slider away. So he was like, they said he was like leaned over covering for that. And then he just backdoored him where it's like, okay, like there's a human element to it. Like he just set him up really nice. But at the same time, like I wanted to be upset and then the announcers didn't let me be upset when I wanted to be upset. But it made sense at the end of the day. Like that's just a tough, like you're a human being at the end of the day. Like you see a ball flying out and you want to cover it and then the next one's at your head and drops it and it's just tough. But yeah, no, exactly. I had the same thought process as you.
And then Gleyber gets a nice little swinging bunt. It just proves that 5 infielders is not as good as 6. And win the game. And it was just like one of those games that we didn't deserve to win, but we won it anyway. Scherzer had 14 strikeouts. He gets a no decision. And that's baseball, Susan. I mean, it really is. Like it just is. Yeah. I don't know what I just rubbed in my eye, but my left eye is burning. But we'll move on to the game of the day.
That.
Zach or Luke, tell me about the game of the day. I haven't done a game of the day since the first episode. This is all you.
We split it last week. We both had pretty good.
That's true.
We did a whole Red Sox thing. But yeah, on August 28th, 2009, it was Burley versus CC, Yankees White Sox. And this day was one of the most memorable days of my life, just kind of in general. My mom went to the hospital to go into labor with my youngest sister, probably like 4:35 and 4:35 o'clock, maybe a little later. I don't know. The game started at 7.
Oh,
it might have been a rain delay. I wouldn't be shocked. I'd have to fact check that. I don't think it could have been. All I know is Jeter went deep to lead off the game, and we're just like sitting around in the house. It's me, my cousin, and my grandpa, and we're watching in my parents' room. The game got stuck on SAP, so Spanish. So I watched the first 7 innings of this game in Spanish. We either couldn't find the remote or we only had one working battery, so we needed 2. At whatever the case may be, we were watching this pitcher's duel, CC and Burley just going back and forth. I think CC went 7 innings, 10 Ks, if I'm not mistaken.
Yep, that's right.
7 innings, 10 Ks, and then Burley went 6 innings, 2 runs, 8 hits, but it was just typical New York Yankees can't hit with runners in scoring position type game. And we had gotten news that like my mom was like going into labor.
Yeah.
And then the game goes into the 10th inning, and it was just like, oh my God. Like, of course, me being young and stupid, I was worried about, was I going to see the rest of the game? Of course, are they going to win? All that. And then Cano comes up and just puts one right center into the bullpen, 3-run shot. It was the year of the walk-off, 2009. It was my first year really watching baseball. Like, I watched it in 2008, but I was like 5. Like, I wasn't really tuned into the day-to-day. And, of course, this is the first year I'm, like, watching every game the whole season. And we had, like, a walk-off, like, every series for the whole year. It was so – I got so spoiled, of course. It was my first year.
Yep. But
this was just another one to collection. He just went deep. And it was – I remember right after we went to the hospital, and I had a new little sister that night. So that's always a game that's going to stick with me. That was a crazy year and a very crazy game.
Sounds like a pretty good day. I mean –
yeah, it was long. It was fun.
Yeah, and I'm checking, and I believe Robinson Cano is the only – well, he's not really active right now. He's the only active player that appeared in the game. And for the Yankees, who got the win, none other than Brian Bruni, the right-handed reliever who just I thought was so bad. Well, he kind of was. He was actually on the Yankees for 4 years. He turned in a 3.92 ERA in 2009, but I don't know there was something about him that just made me think he was just a lot worse. There was also another reliever that we had this year, thinking of him, another guy named Chad Godin that I'm remembering, who was
that's a name.
Horrible. Yeah.
That's funny. Yeah, no, Bruni. I feel like in 10 years, I'm going to remember Bruni and Sessa as very similar roles. Like they kind of stunk, but they did good sometimes. That's how I remember Bruni. He was always just around doing things. He got the win though. Was that his 4th win on the year? Am I reading that right?
I mean, that used to happen.
Did it? Wins used to be a thing. It's funny. Now they're just not.
But yeah, because pitchers used to go deep into games. I mean, nowadays it doesn't happen. So it's really,
I missed that era where pitchers go
I missed
7.
everything past like 2013 when the Yankees started to stink. Everything back. I feel like 09 to 2012 was like the prime. And
For
like everything after that.
We teetered. I remember going into the 2012 playoffs. Of course, we had the Raul Ibanez craziness against the Orioles. I'll never forget that. I remember my parents made me go to bed after I saw the tying home run, and I had this like Lego bedside clock, and I was listening to it on the radio. And I just, of course, me being a kid, I just went nuts and I ran back into my dad's room and just jumped on my parents. And it was just, of course, a great celebration. But they didn't know I was awake. And it was just, yeah, those were the times, honestly.
Yeah. What I love about that game was he was pinch hitting for A-Rod.
Oh my God.
A-Rod, like one of the greatest well, that's actually, what am I saying? I'm just thinking of 09. Was very clutch.
He was in his prime.
He's in his prime, and you pinch hit, and you bring in Raul Ibanez, who's probably one of the clutchest players I've ever seen, and that was awesome. But yeah, I hopefully the Yankees are looking up from here. Hopefully it's a 2009 year in a reverse. I don't know. We'll see, because I just feel like every extra inning game that we play in. I mean, there is an extra inning rule, which stinks.
Oh,
that's another.
Oh my topic. God.
But yeah, I'd say Yankees.
We
definitely looking up from here.
Where's the place in the whole league that you would want to go the least to play a 3-game set?
Oh, like as a Yankee fan?
Yeah, like going to an opposing park. Your least favorite one.
Well, I know where you're going with this. The Tampa Bay Rays, man, or Oakland.
Trop, dude. All right. I don't know. Have I talked about like I lived in Jersey and then I moved on the podcast? I know I've told you. The Oakland Coliseum is so bad. That's the only I've seen the Yankees live at the Giant at it used to be AT&T Oracle Park now. I've seen it once, but we went to an A's game a year probably for the first 4 or 5 years. That is the worst sports venue I've ever been to.
Mm-hmm.
It is awful. There's drums banging, everyone's heckling. They pride themselves on not spending any money. The food's awful. I just can't. I haven't been to the stadium in like 7 years. It's gonna feel like the best thing in the world after going to the Coliseum for the last 5 years. It's unbelievable.
Nope. Just wait till you come back to Jersey. We're gonna hit up, nice Somerset Patriots, maybe Hudson Valley, maybe Jason Dominguez. Maybe he's in the minor leagues. Oh, it's gonna be like LeBron in high school, bro.
It is. He's crazy. Why is he in extended spring training? What was that? Do you like know? Because I didn't really get it.
I think they just wanted to give him extra at bats because he really didn't have much of a spring training. I don't know.
Yeah, I guess it's fair. I don't know. Yeah, we got to see him for sure. But yeah, 3 against the Rays, and then a set with the Orioles. I like Camden Yards. Going from probably our top 2 least favorite to one of my favorite. I do really like Camden.
That's my favorite, I think, from the ones I've gone to. Definitely. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But yeah, that concludes the 4th episode of the Monument Park podcast. The Yankees, I think they'll end up winning tomorrow's game. We've got a matchup of Joe Ross versus Domingo Germán. I still don't understand how.
Come on, Mingo.
Yeah, Domingo's gotta pitch a good game. Gotta really, I don't know. Domingo just has to pitch well. Just don't leave anything over the middle of the Juan Soto. I'll probably post this when he hits a home run tomorrow. Don't leave a freaking slider down the middle. Yeah, like just please. Like I just don't, please. Juan Soto, we hit that garbage time home run against us a couple nights ago, but please don't let him hit a meaningful home run against us. we're gonna win tomorrow. I'm feeling it, and we'll probably have Voit back going to the Trop. So
Yes,
let's go Yankees. I'm really looking forward to it. Go check out the Twitter. Been really active lately. Maybe I was posting a little live stream action during the game.
Yeah, that's gonna go crazy when we get to college. We're in different states across the country, different time zones, so it's tough to be consistent with like live tweeting and streaming. We both play baseball too, so we're missing parts of games. But once it gets to summer and into the fall, we're gonna be big on the Twitter account. Maybe even stream it on YouTube. I don't know. We haven't really talked logistics yet, but we'll figure it out. It'll be a good time. Instagram too. We're pretty active on there. Love to at Monument Bar Pod for both of the social accounts.
Oh, yes, sir. Well, thank you guys for watching and listening, and we'll see you in the next episode.
Yep. Thank you guys.